Welcome to SA Weekender. Thanks for your company. From the ocean to the outback and everything in between, South Australia has oodles to offer. Here's what we have for you today. Briony heads off the beaten track on Eyre Peninsula.
Oh my goodness!
We discover an outback oasis on the edge of the Simpson Desert. And I'll take you golfing in five-star style up in the Riverland. Oh no, you did not see that. But first, here's Belinda.
Today, I've headed 90 minutes out of the city to the southern Fleurieu coast. But instead of visiting the usual suspects, I'm stopping at an absolute hidden gem. This beautiful little enclave is called Second Valley Beach, and boy does it pack some punch for its size. Surrounded by amazing limestone cliffs and beautiful rock formations, you won't believe how much there is to see and explore here. With winding trails stretching along the coastline and pathways that wrap up around rocky inlets, this area is a haven for walkers. Divers and snorkelers are also drawn here by its clear waters. The Second Valley Jetty is a place to cast a line or to try and spot the elusive leafy sea dragon that lives beneath it. I could spend all day exploring its multitude of rock pools, but lunch is calling. Just a 3-minute drive away is my destination, the charming Leonard's Mill. With its towering stone chimney stack, you can't miss this National Trust treasure. Leonard's Mill is 160 years old. Originally a flour mill, it's had quite a few incarnations in its time, and today it serves as a restaurant that prides itself on sourcing as much local produce as possible. And it's getting rave reviews. Hayley and Ian recently moved to the area with their son Gillen, with a strong vision to make this restaurant a regional dining destination. And just a few months in, they won their first chef's hat. Hayley, what is it that drew your family to the area and to the mill in particular?
It's such a beautiful, iconic building. Couldn't say no, really. The region is just full of so much beautiful produce, amazing people, and it's such an awesome community to be a part of.
Best friends forever.
Diners can either enjoy eating outside on the beautifully manicured lawns and large deck, or inside surrounded by the mill's whitewashed walls and remnants of its past. In the kitchen is head chef Peter Smith, whose impressive resume includes top jobs at the Southern Ocean Lodge on KI and Michelin-starred restaurants in the UK.
We're bringing in whole animals. Pete has the knowledge to break them down in the kitchen, which not many other people can do. Nose to tail, we're not wasting anything, which is very amazing.
With sommelier Nina as my guide, who also boasts a Michelin-starred background, I couldn't be in better hands.
So here in front of you, we've got our tomatoes, which comes really just from our backyard, with some homemade ricotta and some smoked almonds. Pretty tasty and really refreshing. And then in front of you here, we've got the snapper, which comes from Cape Jervis, from a fisherman called Al.
Thank you very much, Nina.
You're so welcome, enjoy.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, it is so tender and delicious. And if you've indulged too much to drive home, just steps away from the main building are 2 charming 1-bedroom cottages. In keeping with their seasonal philosophy, the weekend dinner menu here at Leonard's Mill changes every 2 weeks. And for those gastronomic adventurers, don't miss their regular multi-course pairing events. Head to their Facebook page for all the delicious details.
After the break, teeing off for a new golfing getaway. Today, I've headed just 2 hours from Adelaide to the glorious Riverland. My destination is the privately owned Waikerie Golf and Country Club. If you haven't been here in a while, you're in for a surprise. Just over 4 years ago, Julie Steinert took over the property with a vision to transform it into a true tourism destination. Hi Julie, how are you?
Good, thanks Kelly. Welcome to the
good.
Wakeri Golf and
Thank
Country
you.
Club.
What a perfect day today.
Isn't it amazing out there?
Yeah, a bit lucky.
You certainly
Yeah.
are.
I've got my sticks, the
We
clubs.
certainly have got them ready
Great.
for you.
Yeah.
And I've got the card out the front.
Wonderful.
So would you like to start?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Can't wait.
Carry them
Thank
out
you.
for you.
Regarded as one of the best 18-hole courses in South Australia, it has a unique design that makes it a lot tougher than it looks.
It's actually a bunkerless course. We have no water hazards, but we have thick grassy mounds around the greens, which make it a little bit difficult. And the greens are very undulating, which is really challenging to golfers.
I grew up around golf. Both my parents are golfing fanatics, so it's kind of in the blood, but I haven't played for a little while, so no judgment, all right? Oh, look at that, baby! That's what I'm talking about. Looks like I'm not as rusty as I thought I was. Oh no. You did not see that, okay? Oh yes, that's an amazing shot. Hit a tree. It went up here. Oh, shivers. Far out. I said no judgment. I haven't laughed this hard in a long time. Anyone who says golf isn't the most frustrating sport in the world has obviously never played. Before I lose any more dignity, I'm heading back to the clubhouse. Overlooking the fairway is a large deck, one of the club's recent enhancements. With a delicious platter of local produce and a glass of red, it's just the spot to drink in the view. So how was your golf today, boys?
Well, I went about 2 over on the front 9. That was off the blue tees. How'd you go off the red tees?
I mean, I was just lucky to hit the ball, to be honest, today.
Serious? You winding me up?
No, I'm just being honest about my golf. But the most impressive addition to the property has to be its stunning new accommodation called The Villas. Designed by Julie's son Brad, who's an architect, there are 6 self-contained studio suites, complete with modern furnishings, sleek bathrooms, and their own private outdoor decks. For larger groups, there's a 4 and a 6-bedroom villa. To say they're huge is an understatement. With a central courtyard, it's the height of luxury. Featuring an open-plan kitchen and living area and an enclosed outdoor barbecue area, it really is an entertainer's paradise. And from the deck, you can literally step onto the 10th fairway.
Gentlemen, can I get you something else to drink?
I'll be fine, thanks.
I'll probably have another red, Julie, thanks.
Okay then, not a problem. I shall just get you one.
The redevelopment is truly impressive, but I think people are drawn here by the warm and welcoming way Julie treats her guests. You get lots of great rap here. People must
thank
love
you.
you and your personality. I guess
Oh.
what you bring to the club.
Thanks, Kelly. I'm very passionate about it, and I guess that shows when people come. And I like to be very hospitable to them and make their day really enjoyable.
The Wakeri Golf and Country Club is open 7 days a week. Pop in for lunch and a drink or play around. And you don't need to be a golfer to stay at the villas. Situated just minutes away from some fantastic wineries and the river, it's the perfect base to explore this gorgeous part of SA. Next, we dive into the unexpected delights of the Simpson Desert.
Early morning at the William Creek airstrip, and young pilot Jordan Dixon's loading up the plane for one of Wright's Air's regular flights into the far north of South Australia.
Hey Jordan. Hey Ron, how are you? Good mate, nice to see you. Well, we're going to hop in today.
With us on this hour-long jaunt is the man who owns this plane. In fact, he owns all of William Creek. Trevor Wright fell in love with outback South Australia 30 years ago, when first flying over its great expanses and catching glimpses of desert miracles like Dalhousie Springs. From the air, you get a sense that something truly unique is happening here. Water stored over millions of years in the great inland sump that is the Great Artesian Basin finally punches its way through the desert floor to the surface in what's now known as Witcherra National Park, near the Northern Territory border. Dalhousie Springs is really like a massive underground shower rose, pumping water from the Great Artesian Basin through to the surface, through 80 holes, or what are called mound springs. It's truly quite remarkable. Dalhousie is a staging post for many campers starting or finishing their great treks across the endless sand dunes of the Simpson Desert. And it's here, in the desert, that water works its magic.
I describe it as a natural aquatic wonderland out here, where all this water from the Great Artesian Basin is coming to the surface between 38 degrees to 40 degrees. And from that you have the species of crustacea and fish, and also the natural bird life and fauna that it drags in.
Out here, the cockatoos have the run of the place in this haven where water meets the desert. And as you'd expect, it's also a magnet for those wanting to wash away the dust of the Oodnadatta track. The Harding and Washington families from the Central Coast in New South Wales got here last night and now are dipping their toes into the soothing waters of Dalhousie.
Guys, who knows we didn't do a belly flop?
The families who've been on the track for days now, the glistening and pristine waters of this outback oasis are a godsend. In here, you can escape the flies as you revitalise the weary body in this desert spa.
It's beautiful. We weren't expecting it. We came in, it was dark. I didn't really know what was here. Waking up to this, it's great. Good to get rinsed off as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, a few days on the track, I don't know about you showering. Were you in need of
oh, definitely. Good for the muscles too.
It's all about luxuriating in water that's taken eons to get here.
It comes from the Great Dividing Range, and it takes up to 3 million years to get out here. By the time it's filtered through the rock and reaches the surface again, it's travelled a huge amount of distances from up in the north of Queensland.
A desert oasis that Trevor Wright describes as a secret gem of the outback.
With the temperature and the clarity and the purity of the water, it's worth bringing the family out here to have a look.
You can get here by 4-wheel drive, but why not grab a 1-hour flight from William Creek? It's just one of many scenic flights to be enjoyed on a Wright's Eyre flight. For details, head to their website.
Next, a tailor-made tour of the best of the West.
There is no shortage of beauty on the Eyre Peninsula, and it is so much fun to get out and explore. But how do you find those extra special secret places? Well, sometimes you just need a bit of help, and I know just who to ask. Hey, good to see you,
how are you?
Good, really good. Where are we going today?
Well, we're going to some of the region's most secret spots.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. Let's
Yeah,
go.
rightio.
Dave Dowdle runs Going Off Safaris, based in Port Lincoln. And his business card has 4 of my favourite words on it: adventure, seafood, wildlife and scenery. Today, our crew is in his capable hands. After all, with 2,000 kilometres of breathtaking coastline on the peninsula, it helps to have an expert guide. But first, the seafood. This is the Sheller Door at Coffin Bay Pure Oysters. And we're just picking up lunch supplies from Chris. They're fresh off the lease this morning.
Nice big deep cup, which means the oyster is full.
Now we're off on our tailor-made tour through the Coffin Bay and Lincoln National Parks, which Dave has designed to showcase some of the best sites that we might not be able to reach on our own. After all, this kind of terrain does require a 4-wheel drive and some know-how. And this is the reward. Coffin Bay claims to have more dolphins per square metre than anywhere else in Australia.
Oh, they're really getting into it now.
Yeah,
Sort of like they're spreading out, ready to...
to launch.
I'm wondering if Dave has the best job in the world. His enthusiasm is contagious.
Day to day, everything changes.
It's amazing to see the reaction of people though, our clients that we take around, because they don't get to see a lot of this every day of their life. So we're a bit lucky.
Back on the track, we're cruising around meeting more locals, both leathery and feathery. And having a heap of fun in Lincoln National Park's enormous sand dunes.
Like Lawrence of Arabia, but with a bit more horsepower.
Oh my goodness! It's easy to see why this unspoiled region and going off safaris are attracting international attention.
Just beautiful beaches, you got the ruggedness of the coastline, great sandy dunes as we've just experienced, where you can four-wheel drive, and there's a lot of wildlife here as well.
For our picnic lunch, Dave knows a breathtaking spot on the beach sheltered from the wind. Knowledge of how the weather impacts upon different locations is another upside to a local guide.
We use it as an advantage, particularly our clients' point of view, where they might want to go to the beautiful beach to swim, or the right place to go to fish, or even when it's wild during the winter, they want to see the most explosive wave action, if you like. So we're always checking out the different weather apps to make sure that this place can be sheltered, a beautiful place for lunch, you know, just so we can be where everyone's going to be in a nice environment.
I can hear my name being called by a plump, fresh prawn and a chilled local Sauvignon Blanc. And let's not forget those oysters.
Tickety-boo. Beautiful, beautiful. We're very blessed here.
We are.
All right, cheers girls. Beautiful.
There's another local facet to going off safaris, and that's the luxury accommodation that Dave and his wife Mandy can offer guests with a prime waterfront spot on the Port Lincoln Marina. South Point Beach House is a relaxed but stylish 2-storey, 4-bedroom home with plenty of living space and thoughtful touches throughout. With a fully equipped kitchen, you can cater for the whole family and friends, or just spread out and keep the whole house to yourself for a romantic getaway. The master bedroom is just enormous. And how's this for a view from a balcony?
It's just very relaxing. It's something they've really looked forward to spending their time there, away from everyone else.
But we're not done on our tour just yet. There's one more fascinating place tucked off the beaten track. Mikara Station is home to a colony of wild koalas, though chilled is a better description. Their manna gum perches are so stunted you get an eye-level view of these normally lofty layabouts. Going Off Safaris can design a tour to match your interests, be they fishing, food and wine, trekking, or even underwater adventures. Fully supported and catered, all you have to do is show up ready for fun.
How pristine is our west coast, and the colour of that water, stunning. If you'd like to see any of our stories again, just head to our website or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Join the conversations and enter our competitions. We love to hear from you. Thank you so much for your company. We'll see you soon.